All right, we'll talk some more in a sec. We're talking with American Patchwork Quartet, and they are all here with their gorgeous instruments and their talents, and I'd love to hear another song if you don't mind.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna do. What were we gonna do? Shenandoah. Yeah. So we're gonna feature Greene. Do you want to say something about like the intro or the?
Sure, yeah. So firstly, I'm super grateful to be here and be a part of the American Patchwork Quartet. When Clay invited me, I was super thrilled to be part of it. And Falu is actually from North India, and she brings in North Indian classical music called Hindustani. And I'm from South India, and it's a different flavor of classical. So I bring in Carnatic music into the group. So it's interesting for us to sort of, do all these different colors into the project, and even within Indian music. So in this song, I'm going to be using our equivalent of major scale called Shankara Bharanam. That's like a raga that we have. And this song, the words are Neera Jakshi Ni Pai, which is basically I'm longing for you. And Neera Jakshi describes her eyes are like the lotus. And Shenandoah itself, when Clay told me about the song, it was so beautiful. It's about longing and for home, and like I think originally for a lover, but we changed it to make it a longing for home, and this sort of fit really well. So we're sort of blending that together.
Shenandoah, I long to hear you. Away, you rolling river. Oh, Shenandoah, I long to see you. Away, I'm bound away across the wide Oh, Shenandoah, I am your daughter. Away, you rolling river. For you I'd cross your roaming waters. Away, I'm bound away across the wide Missouri. It's been 7 years since last I've seen you, and here you're rolling river. It's been 7 years since last I've seen Oh, Shenandoah, I long to see you away, you rolling river. Oh, Shenandoah, I long to see you away. I'm bound away across the wide Missouri.
American Patchwork Quartet, or APQ for short, here in Studio B today on WNCW. A song that we've all heard and sung our entire lives and interpreted in a pretty different way, in a beautiful way. Thank you, Rennie.
Thank you.
Yeah. And that, I think, that illustrates very well what you all are accomplishing, what you set out to do, you have accomplished on this. And I wanted to ask you, you were talking about the music from northern India versus southern India and all that. I saw a term attached to your name in the literature, Indian jazztronica. Please tell me, I'm not that familiar. I may be ignorant, but I'm not that familiar with that term of music.
Okay, so I have a personal project where I bring together Carnatic with jazz, electronica, and a little bit of rock. So hence the jazztronica.
Right.
So I went to Berklee School of Music. In 2012, I moved to the US from India to go to Berklee, and I met fantastic musicians from around the world and formed this project. And it's very upbeat sort of music with electronica. I did electronic production and design as my major at Berklee, and it was exciting, so exciting to be here and be amidst musicians and do that. So I created this project, and we've been touring around under my artist name Greene. So we play my original music in that.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have a word with Martin Anderson and make sure that we have some of that, and that jazztronica is part of our lexicon here at WNCW. Right?
I would love to. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Well, your collaboration here, your band, pretty much, defines what we always say here as a part of imaging this station, a world of music, and that's where we try to go and stay with this radio station. Clay, I wanted to ask you. Yasushi doesn't have a mic down there, and I was wondering how you two met and how you got to playing together.
Yeah.
There's not a mic to really pick him up. But he's,
I'll tell so Yasushi, actually, it's crazy. When I came to New York City in 2004, 3 or 4, I definitely hit the ground running, man. I was kind of hungry and motivated, and I was just pounding the pavement, kind of creating gigs. I like creating opportunities to play like anywhere and everywhere I could find. And so I was that guy, going to restaurant managers saying, "Hey, what do you think about having some live music here?" And because I knew that I I could create opportunities to network with people and to play with people if I kind of created opportunities for us to play and maybe earn a little bit of money and, you know, get a meal or something.
You don't need any money in New York, do you?
Yeah, right. I mean, but we were really, I mean, those were scrappy times, man. I'm telling you. I remember just carrying a 30-pound polytone amplifier through the snow on a cart, you know, just from gig to gig, schlepping it on the subway. And but all that to say that, you know, Yasushi was one of the first bassists that I met on the scene and was just absolutely phenomenal 20 years ago and has only gone on to grow into, you know, one of the premier bassists of our time. I mean, really highly in demand. And I think that I met you before you were even at Juilliard, or maybe you were just starting into it. And
when you say on the scene, does that mean playing around at venues?
Yeah, kind of like, you know, it's like a word of mouth. Like, you know, I got to find a bass player. I got a gig at this coffee shop, and, you know, it pays $30. And I got to find somebody, you know, who's a bass player you'd recommend. And word travels fast when somebody's really great. And so, you know, Yasushi was definitely at the top of the list of on people's tongues. And so, yeah, so we played a lot of gigs together. And Yasushi played, you know, my music, my original jazz music. And we played just gigs at like Detour and Boom and 50 Barbez and 55 Bar and, you know, all these kind of iconic little clubs in New York. I mean, Barbez has become one of our really important clubs in Brooklyn. And, you know, it's this tiny little room, but everybody loves it. And
sometimes those are the best.
Oh, man, and it just nurtures, you know, relationships that, and, you know, and here we are doing this really cool thing. And that it took 20 years for that to happen, but still, I mean, it's cool. And so when this project, you know, when I met Clarence, I was kind of like, oh, man, like Clarence would be the guy to do this with. And then, you know, and I was kind of like looking for a bassist, and I was like, Yasushi would be amazing. And turns out like Clarence and Yasushi are just like brothers, and since I had lost touch with Yasushi a little bit, they had been playing together the whole time. So, you know, it's just all... you know, it's
they were
a web.
sneaking around on you, Clay.
Yeah, no, there's no sneaking around for us. You know, we all have very open relationships.
Remember, we live in New York.
Yeah,
no,
right.
I'm just kidding.
Well, I know how they are in New York.
Yeah, right.
It's not like Anderson, South Carolina.
That's right.
You all are so fun.
Thanks,
Tonight at Wortham Center for the Performing Arts in Asheville at 7. I'd get there early if I would, because I'll make sure I find a good place to sit. But then if you're over in Tennessee, and this is like 3 hours away, as you told me, but still, our signal reaches out a little ways, and people will travel to hear great music. So at the Arts Center in Athens, Tennessee on Friday, tomorrow night.
That's right.
So, and then you guys are going other places where people have to drive a lot farther to see you from here.
Yeah, we have a really cool year. We're we're going to release an album this year, and I wanted to share that with everybody because you know, we actually recorded here in Asheville. So we won this really amazing grant through an organization called South Arts right here in the South. And so they helped us to fund a week-long recording that we did at Echo Mountain Studio.
Oh, man.
And we worked with a really phenomenal engineer named Shani Gandhi out of Nashville. She came and helped us make this really phenomenal sounding record. I feel like it's one of the best sounding, you know, albums I've ever been a part of. I'm so proud of it. And
you've been a part of some good ones.
And I have been a part of some good ones. I'm very grateful. And they're all, I'm grateful to have been a part of all these records. And, you know, I think this was just so personally close to me because it celebrates, you know, my journey as an artist, and then it really brings it all back home, you know, to the upstate and to the Western North Carolina region. Mm-hmm. And to have actually been able to record there was really special for me. And so I'm very proud of it, and it's going to probably come out early next year, like around January or February. And and if you guys want to kind of keep in touch with us on that, you know, we have a really simple way to keep in touch, which is just we use text messages. So you can just text the number 66866 and write the word APQ, just APQ. And you type those letters to a text 66866, and it gives you kind of all our info, where it's like an auto reply vibe. So keep in touch, and, you know, we definitely hope to come back to this region. We'll be at the Monterey Jazz Fest this year. We're playing the Rochester Jazz Fest.
Wow.
We're playing... we're going to be back this way in October to play at the Peace Center in Greenville.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, it's kind of stuff's happening for APQ.
Yeah, and I know any advanced stuff, you'll make sure Martin has it, and
Always,
and
yeah.
of course, timely on the album, because we're gonna want to have the whole project, right?
We'll make it happen. Yeah.
We're gonna make sure, because I know WNCW listeners, many know each of you individually, and I know they're digging this project and hearing all of you play together, because it's pretty special.